So today we go to this question, which is very important from the examination point of view. If you see the previous year's question papers, this is a very favorite question of the examiners. What is the intensity of the electric field at a point on the equatorial line of a dipole? Equatorial line, it's also known as the broadside on position. In that case, our diagram looks something like this. So minus q plus q, short distance twice L. We wish to find the electric field at the point P. So at the point P, how do the vectors look like? So we draw that figure separately. This is the point P. If this angle is theta, then from geometry we can see that this angle also will be theta. The fields are as follows, E1 and E2, and the resultant E will be in this direction. So instead of drawing this vectors at this point, here we just show E1 and E2, and the remaining of the things we resolve separately in a separate diagram. Now we come to the explanation part. As shown in figure A, let E1 and E2 be the electric field intensities at a point P due to the charges plus Q and minus Q of the dipole respectively. So because of plus Q, our field is E1 in this direction. You can see this small arrow. And because of minus Q, the field is towards minus Q, because remember we are considering a positive test charge at point P. So towards minus Q, so E2. Now we use the formula for electric field intensity. E1 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q charged by the distance. What is the distance between plus Q and P? We are using Pythagoras theorem here. If this distance is r, if from the midpoint of the dipole to the point P the distance is small r, then this is already L from the midpoint to the charge plus Q. So what is the hypotenuse? Root over r square plus L square. Similarly, this side also. This is L, this is r. So hypotenuse is r square root over r square plus L square. If we square it, we are getting this term. So square root sign vanishes. What is left is r square plus L square. So charge by square of the distance. Distance between the plus Q and point P, and here also distance between the charge and the point P. This is for plus Q, this is for minus Q, E1, E2. On resolving E1 and E2 into their components as shown in figure B. So now this is our E1, E2. We resolve it into two components, E1 sin theta, and where is E1 cos theta? Obviously it is along this direction. E2 sin theta. So where is E2 cos theta? Along this direction. Now the question may arise in your mind that generally if we take this line, we take it as cos theta. But like we take it as cos theta, and generally the perpendicular line is taken as sin theta. But here you see our theta is not here. If it was here, then this would have been cos theta. But since theta is here, so this is 90 minus theta. Hence, this side is sin theta. This side will be your E1 cos theta. That's the small explanation in case you have not understood. Then, on resolving E1 and E2 into the components as shown in figure B, now E1 sin theta and E2 sin theta equal and opposite. So they cancel out each other. What is left is the cos component, both along the resultant E. So what is the resultant E? It will be the sum of the cos components. So we write it like this. We see that E is equal to E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. Since E1 sin theta and E2 sin theta cancel each other. So it's very simple. You just substitute the value of E1 cos theta, E2 cos theta. or take common 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus r square. Cos theta plus cos theta is twice cos theta. Now we want to find out what is cos theta. So again we go back to figure A. Look at this triangle OBP. This is your angle theta. So what is cos theta? Adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side L, hypotenuse, root of r square plus L square. So we put that here. Cos theta equal to OB by BP, adjacent side by hypotenuse, L by r square plus L square, root over r square plus L square. So what do we have finally? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus L square, 2, and instead of cos theta we are substituting this L by root over r square plus L square. But we know that 2ql means q into 2l. What is it? It is the electric dipole moment. So numerator changes to p. Rest of the terms can be brought together, r square plus L square to the power 3 by 2, because this is to the power 1 by 2, this is to the power 1, base is same, so add 1 plus 1 by 2, you will get 3 by 2. The direction of E is anti-parallel to the dipole axis. So again we come back to this diagram. Direction of dipole moment is always from negative charge to positive charge, this direction. But where is your direction of E? Opposite direction. So anti-parallel. So direction of E is anti-parallel to the dipole axis. Then we limit the condition if R is very greater than L. If P is located at a larger distance and the dipole is of a very short length, in that case L square can be neglected. So this part is reduced to R cube, P by R cube. L square is not there. R square into 3 by 2, 2 cancel, only 3 is left. So R cube. Unit is Newton per coulomb. This is our final expression. If we want to write it in vector notation, just we put an arrow over P. Rest of the things same. This minus sign is because it is anti-parallel to this. So the minus sign. So this is the expression for electric field. So the question was electric field at a point on the equatorial line. So equatorial line of a dipole, and after resolving all this we are arriving at the final expression. Thank you.